Hello, and today we'll be installing Arch Linux in virtual machine, VirtualBox to be specific. And I won't talk too much in this video because it's a really long video, so let's just get into it. First of all, let's open up VirtualBox. So here is my VirtualBox, and now let us create a new VirtualBox. Now, if you are doing this on uh, if you are trying to dual boot this, I will also try to make a video on that because well, it is a bit complicated than your normal Debian based system. So let me just create a new virtual machine. So let me just get here, then create new, and then just put the name as Arch Linux. This is the thing that I like about VirtualBox is that once you type the name, it will automatically choose the type and version for you. So then we have to choose the ISO image. I'm assuming you have all of this. That's why I'm just showing you the installation. So let me go to downloads. Sorry, not downloads. Desktop, Arch Linux, and here is my ISO. And if for some reason you're wondering how to download this, let me just show you that real quick so you don't get confused. So just open up a browser, like any browser, then just go to Arch Linux download, or archlinux.org is just fine. But once you get to this link right here, you will be greeted here. Like you will get here, and you can see it will say the current release version, the included kernel version, and also some bunch of links. So you can download it by a torrent. So here is the link for that, and once you click this, it should have a torrent file downloaded. So you need uTorrent or some BitTorrent, like BitTorrent software that can download torrent files. So I personally use uTorrent because it's just simpler to use and really lightweight. So anyway, I am assuming you have all of this done. So after you get the downloaded and you set this up, then we can just go to next and then give our memory. Let me just give 4 gigabytes. Oops, that's not 4 gigabytes. 4096, that's 4 gigabytes. So after I give 4 gigabytes, I would like to give 4 cores. I highly doubt it needs this much, but well, it never hurts to give it. And then as for disk space, I'll just give 20 gigabytes for now. I can change it if I want. And then I can just go to next, and it will show me a quick rundown of what I'm about to do. So machine name and machine folder, this type of things. So it's not that complicated. Finish. And so this is the part that I forgot to include in the video. So after you have the virtual machine, you need to do a little bit of configuration. So first click here, settings, and then go to the advanced section and change this to bidirectional. Yeah, just change this and you should be good. And then go to system and processor, and just enable this. And if you want to like virtualize inside of the virtual machine, then you can also enable this. But why would you do that? I don't know, but you have the option. Then you have display. You can choose 1 or 2 monitors. I have 2 monitors, so it lets me do 2 monitors, but I'll just go with 1 just to show this. Then you have storage, and this you had to usually do this manually, but now like in the latest version of VirtualBox, it just takes it whenever you are like installing it. Then we have audio. These things are not that important. Then you can add a shared folder. So let me just add that. So let me just go to here. Sorry, documents. Yeah, whatever. I have Kali Linux one, so I'll just use that. Then just do auto mount, and this will give you a shared folder with your Windows system in a virtual machine. So that's basically it. Enjoy the rest of the video, or follow the rest of the video. This is the easy part, like getting your virtual machine or your boot device ready. Now comes the hard part, that is installing it. So if I click start, then it should power up the Arch Linux. Just close this, and then here we can just do Arch Linux. This first option right here, just click enter, and then this will boot into a terminal. So unlike Debian, where most systems have a live, not even Debian, like in most cases now, so the live system is a GUI. But in the case of Arch Linux, this is the live system. So this is all you get. So let me just clear this up. Now this is all we have. We have root.archiso, and that's basically it. And you don't get anything. So now let's see what we can do. So in here, if you try to do this manually, you'll have a really hard time. So what you can do is just type arch install, and this will pull up a almost like a guided installer. So give it a moment, and it will check some things, and you will have a guided installer that you can use, and that we will be using to install Arch in our system. Like this is the installer that we are given, and as you can see, it's not much. It's basically just a terminal based system. So the first thing, let's go one by one and let's see what we can do about it. So the first thing that we will see is Arch install language. So this is what language you will be using, or if you want to use. So if you don't speak English very well, or if you are not comfortable with it, you can change it to any language. Here there is a bunch of options right here, but for this one we will be going to English. So then the keyboard layout is usually US, but if you have a different keyboard layout, then get here, and as you can see, there is a bunch of options right here. You can scroll up down. You can even do slash to search, so slash US. Oops, right. So this one is US. It's really hard to read, but that is US. So mirror region. This is if we are using any other region. So this is, so now here is what mirror region is doing. So as you can see on top, it says select one of the regions to download packages from. So this is which region you want to download your packages from. So obviously if the server is close to you, it will download much quicker and much better. So I'll just choose this. And then local language is English.us. So this is the language that will be in your system. Then we have local encoding. This is UTF-8 is the English format for computers. Just basically just understand that. It's that simple. So now comes the hard part. So this is drives, you know. So if you get here, you can see there is two options right here. And if you are doing dual boot, then there will be a much more options. Like more options you can see here. So if you don't care about the file drive, or if you don't care about keeping anything, then just go for any drive and just format it. But if you do, then find the drive where you are trying to install your Arch Linux. So please be careful, like really careful when you're doing this step, because well, this involves formatting your disk and rewriting it. So if you do any wrong like partition, you will lose data. But since we are doing this in a virtual machine, we don't have to worry about that, because we obviously have only one partition, and that's this one right here. So then if you click this, then if you can see that if I go here, it gives us a little bit of info on what we are selected. So you can see this, it says devices in the bottom. It says devices, and that is like /SDA, then size is 20 gigabytes. So it gives us a quick rundown. So after we selected this, you can see there is a new option right here, that is disk layout. So once we get here, it will give us an option and what we want to do with the disks. So if you see that in the first option, it says select what to do with each individual drive, and the bottom one says wipe all selected drives and use the best effort to default partition layout. So if we go with this one, it will we will get a manual option of installing it, like manual option for partitioning our drive. But if you are someone who does not fancy that and this is your first time installing Arch Linux, then I would not recommend you go with this and go with this option instead, which says wipe all select. And if you are doing this in a virtual drive, I highly recommend this because it will give you an understanding on how this installer actually works. And well, as I said, this is a virtual machine, so you can like reinstall this and test things out and move around and try out things. So do not worry, and for now we'll go with this one. And actually I do not want to partition so I am going with this one. So here, and this will give us a bunch of partition options, so all of these that you can select, but in standard terms it is like mostly Linux will be using ext4. Like I am not saying that other ones are not used, but ext4 or ext4 is mostly used, so we'll select that option. And if you want to encrypt it, you can use a password like this one will encrypt the disks, and whenever you use it, you have to use a password. So normally you do have to use a password, but this one will you have to use a password when you are accessing your files. So then we have the bootloader, which is grub install. I don't know what we expected here. So grub is the default bootloader for Linux. Any type of Linux distro will use grub install or grub loader. So then we have swap. So you can set this to true or false. If you set it to true, it will use a little bit of your storage as swap memory or virtual memory. And if you set it to false, obviously it won't do that. So then we have host name. So the name of the host. So we can change this. If you want. We can change it to anything. But for now, we can let's just leave it like that. And there is a root password that you can set. But we will be using a user account. So you can use it as a root user. That's fine. But I will use a user account, so I get I get more versatility, and if I need new user, I can just add more users to it. So then we'll go to user accounts, then add a user. Then we have to type a username. So then we have to set a password for Plazo. Make sure you can remember this password and do not forget this whatsoever. So let's just this. Yeah, I'm just using a weak password because, well, because I'm just showing this for demonstration. And here it says should Tazo be a super user or if he can get a root access. So I'll just say yes, he can have root access, and that's basically it. So then if we click this, we can change password, promote or demote user, we can delete user, cancel this, and now we have a user. And if we get down here, like after this, just click down and you should see an option that says confirm and exit. So if we click this, that's it. That basically is if we go there, you can see there is a user called Tarzo. It has a password and it is a sudo, like super user. So then we have profile. So if we get here, you can see that it will show what type of install do you want. So if you want a desktop user, like a desktop environment, so this is the option. The desktop option is for you. If you want a minimal install, and by minimal I mean like the bare minimum that you need, and then you can just customize your way up from that. Then we have server. So it's basically just a server. So if you have a NAS server or a Minecraft server that you would like to run, you can use this to uh, make a server type system, like a server type install. And then here, if you want to use Xorg, it's basically the same thing. It's just install the minimal number of thing and graphics drivers as well. So we'll go with desktop because we are installing a desktop environment just to check out how Arc looks. So if you click here, and then here you can select a desktop environment. Like there is basically everything awesome. Then Cinnamon, Deepin, Enlightenment, Gnome. There is a lot of things. KDE. So let me just go with Gnome. Let me see how Gnome looks here. So I am more familiar with it. There is also KDE, which I really like, and LXQT is like almost like a really light version. So it's, if you are really low on storage, you can go there. So let me just go to Gnome and let's see what happens. And then here you see that it is asking me if I want the graphics driver. What type of graphics driver do you want? Obviously I am using an Intel system and I do not have an AMD, so I'll just go with all open source. So if you have an AMD system, you can go this one, but I don't have that, so I'm going all open source. And then the audio driver, you can here you have Pipewire and Pulse Audio, so you can choose whichever you like to your needs. So let me just go Pulse Audio. Let me see. Yes. And then kernel, this is the default kernel, the Linux head, and it is the different type of kernel that you can use. I'll just go with default Linux. Then we have additional packages. Now here's the good thing. So in additional packages, you can give it some other options. So something that will be installed while Arc is being installed. So let's just say Firefox. I will be needing that. Maybe Vim for text editing and stuff. What else do I need? Let's just go with this for now. Now this will look for the packages, and then as you can see, it shows here that we are installing Firefox and Vim as soon as we are done downloading. And then we have network configuration. So if we click this, this will give you a bunch of options. So this will do is network, but like the ISO configuration that was a bundle with the ISO, it will use that. If you use network manager, it will give you a graphical interface. So I'll just go with this one because I am using GNOME. So network manager, and then the time zone. This is for time. Like I can use UTC, that's fine, but you can choose wherever you want. And again, you can search it. If you do slash, you can search it from here. So then automatic time sync, so it will basically just do everything automatically. And then here is optional repository. So if you have any repository that you like or you would like to use, you can use it right here. And that's basically it. So I know it's a really long process just to get things to where it is. And trust me when I say this, if you try to do this manually, everything, like if you're an advanced user, props to you, but if you're a beginner, you'll have a really hard time. So this is the way we'll go with this. So you can also, you can check everything and make sure everything is fine. Like here you see disk layout, we're having 2 partitions, one for boot and one for the base system. So yeah, you can just go over this one more time and make sure everything is working, and then we'll go to the bottom, and there is an option called install. You can save the configuration and get back here and change it up again if you want, but we'll just go over and install it. So if we click install, it will, as you can see, it's given us a really quick rundown of everything. So let me just hit enter, and now this will format the disk drive and creating the. So I won't just talk here. Oops. I won't just talk here because it will take a bit of time. So I will see you after it is done installing, and you don't have to do anything else. Just wait for it to finish downloading, then you can continue. So see you in a bit. And so the installation is done. Now if you would like to do more configurations, you can do that. If you do yes, you will get into a terminal and you can install a bunch of stuff, but I am not gonna do that, so I'll just hit no, and then we can just reboot. So the reboot is required because now we will boot into our system. So I told you I'm using a virtual machine, so this just pops up again. So I will remove I'll show you how to fix this. So first let's see if our system is even booting. So boot existing OS, then do Arch Linux, and it feels like it is booting. There you go. So now we have our user. Then let me type that. And there we go. We are in Arch Linux. So let me just make this a bit bigger because it is small, like really small. Let me just do, where is it? Oh, here, what the heck? It's right there. Let me just close this. Display settings, resolution. There you go. Apply. Hit changes. There you go. Now this is bigger. Close this. So, where the heck is this? Where is the menu? What? Yeah, the desktop environment is freaking out. Yeah, maybe I need to change this. So let me see if I can fix this. Okay, so here's what you have to do. So as you can see, there is no application, nothing in here, but there actually is. So if you click the Windows key in your keyboard, oops, not this one, this window. So if you hit the Windows key, you'll see there is a dock under here. So just go there, then click on extensions, and then turn this on. So if you turn this on, as you can see, you have an application menu up here. So if you go to this application menu, you can see all of your apps are sorted right here. So we have the Firefox, we have Office, we have accessories, and also Vim. So you can see we have Vim. So these are the two software that we installed. And if you want this like bottom panel right here, you have to install dash to dock, and this video is already really long. So if you want that, I will make a short video or a little video about that, explaining how that works. But for now, just use this one. This is okay for now. And if you use a separate another desktop environment other than GNOME, then well, you're off to the races. So that's basically it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I will make a really quick video on this, on how to fix this. And this is what you have to do to fix in the boot menu coming over and over again. So what you will do is that after your Arc install is complete or the installation is complete, just go to settings and then go to storage and just remove this. Like, you do not need this. Just remove attachment. And if you do that, now you have the OS installed, but your removable drive, or it's like unplugging the pen drive. So if we just hit OK, and then if we boot this up, we should see that that menu is not showing, or the installer menu is not showing, but it should boot into here. As you can see, it's directly booting into Arc now. See, it's directly booting. So that's it. See you guys in the next one. So see you guys on that one. Subscribe and like the video and leave a comment down below.